Hey, my name's Cam, I'm from England. We're in Peru at the moment, in Pisac, in Sacred Valley, where I live now. I actually haven't lived in England for quite a while. The last time I lived there was maybe some 10 years ago, I don't remember, approximately. Since then I've lived in China, where I was an English teacher. I lived in the Netherlands, where I was a real estate agent, and now I live here, where I do a variety of things. I'm very creative. I make dolls, I illustrate, I write, and this is where I'm trying to make my way here in Pisac. It's a slow process, because it's a new land for me. I've only been here for 1 month, 2 months.
2 months
as
in,
you can see,
2 months in Peru or here?
2 months in Peru and 2 months in Pisac. 2 months here in the Sacred Valley.
What is this Sacred Valley?
The Sacred Valley is this whole valley that stretches from Cusco to Machu Picchu. It's called the Sacred Valley because this was the chosen home of the Incas. This is where they built all of the sacred sites, all of the cities, all of the centers, and obviously because of that, the people here, they see it as a magical place. It's worshipped and it's revered. All around here you have lots of temples, ruins, archaeological remains, agricultural structures on the mountains, and as you feel the energy here as well, you know why they built here, you know why they chose this place. There's a story, there's a mythology that goes with it, that the great ancestor of the Incas, he took a staff, a magical staff, and with 3 brothers and 3 sisters, he set off to travel across Peru to find a place where they would make a home. And eventually he reached Cusco. And when he put the staff in the ground in Cusco, this became the center of the Incan Empire. And yeah, we're not far away now. We're maybe some 60 kilometers. I'm not very good with measurements, but I think we're about 60 kilometers. Sí, en la montaña hace mucho frío y mucho frío. Ahora está haciendo más frío. Pero ahora en este hospedaje es al lado de río. Y mi cabeza es... ¿A piso que está haciendo? ¿A piso que está haciendo? Sí. Está haciendo. A regar, a la pompa. No entiendo. ¿Regar? Sí. Agua, vamos a hacer del día. Oh, no. ¿Para Santiago? Ah.
10 brothers.
Yeah, and they all look like him.
How do you know him?
How do I know him? Because I lived in his broken down house. He had one house he started to build on the mountain where the farm, where his chocolate farm is, where he grows maize. And one day a big ass rock came down the mountain and destroyed half of this house. The rock is still there, but they don't continue building because I think he lost he lost momentum with that, and so yeah, I actually wanted to go to. I had directions to go to this cave, but I got lost. Instead, I went in this direction up the mountain, and when I was walking up the mountain, it started to get dark, and I found this broken down house, and so I started to live there. And
he let you to live there?
Yeah, so it was fine. And yeah, I lived there for like 2 weeks, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, so my first cup of San Pedro was in this ceremony from my two friends who were shamans, and I took it around 6 o'clock at night, like everybody else, and it was a very warm.
Stress.
Yeah, so about my first San Pedro experience, we prepared the plant, large cactuses, 3 of them, with my friends who were shamans, and we boiled it for 3 days. We reduced it down to very potent wachuma. The ceremony was held here in Pisac, in one large maloko, which is a ceremonial house. It looks like a tent. And in the centre there was a fire. Many people came around, an unusually large amount of people. There was like 20 people there. And yeah, I had my first cup with everybody else around 6 o'clock, and the atmosphere was very warm around the fire, and it was getting dark also outside. So inside it was like a little sanctuary, and inside the maloka we have offerings of food, of fruit and nuts and flowers and incense, and all of these are being passed around, and it's very abundant and a free atmosphere. Around about an hour later, or sometime, my perception started to change slightly. Things started to melt, the colours were changing and becoming much more vivid, seeing like strips and streams of different colour. Also, perspective was changing as well. I couldn't gauge where I was in all of this, but I felt good inside. The feeling was absolutely incredible. And also as well, I felt like I was travelling inside as well. I felt like I was having some communication from the plant. And it's not the first time I had this also. This has been in various occasions, and I have experience with a very potent plant. Always comes with some kind of message and some kind of journey that is involved in it. Throughout this night I ended up taking 4 cups. The first cup, of course, was just to tranquilo, step by step into the experience. But the experience was so warm for me, and it felt so natural that taking the other cups was just like a sort of like a little boost, just to bring you back into what was kind of like a shared. It was a shared hallucination for many people. You don't really talk in terms of what you're seeing or anything, because you're in the middle of the experience, but you feel it. The feeling is there. And I didn't have any kind of adverse reaction to it in terms of feeling sick or needing the toilet. And this ceremony was for 2 days. On the second day I had a very different experience. I should say on the first night it was very active. I was engaging with people, I was dancing, there was music being played, there was fruit being passed around. It was very social and very interactive. On the second night, maybe because we'd been awake all of that first night, I drank 1 cup and then fell asleep, and the experience was very much internal. It was kind of in the void. It was like a play on feelings that I don't really have words for it, but equally as nice, and kind of equally as much of a message.